We're live. Good morning. Hello, everybody. I'm only 1 minute late. Okay, it's 11:01. Good morning, and what a beautiful, cloudy, rainy, cold day it is in the Catskills. And so let's see who's in. Hi, Gail. Hi, Natalie, Susan, Yvonne, Lisa, and Michael. And if anybody's new, please feel free to say hello. Let us know who you are and where you are in the big wide world here. And thanks for joining us on Memorial Day. And well, actually, tomorrow's Memorial Day, but Memorial Day weekend. And this is pretty interesting weather, I have to say, for Memorial Day. Now, I just wanted to, for those that are coming in as a video, if it's not 11 a.m. Sunday, you're watching this as a video. And what we do here on Tarot Time is basically do a little week forecast for the trends that are going on that are affecting us collectively and individually, and what's going on in the world of energy as well as the physical world out there. And so we'll do a meditation card, we'll do a 3-card spread, and I have my angel cards. We'll do an angel message. So that's what's going on today. So this is very reminiscent of I forgot what year it was. It was about 8-9 years ago, and I was up north in my current location doing a weekend retreat with a shaman from Machu Picchu. Actually, it was a plant medicine retreat, and it was 90 degrees the week before. Then the Memorial Day weekend hit. Where I was, it was 40 degrees and raining. But up in Tannersville, New York, which is just 2,000 feet elevation, it snowed. There was like 8 inches of snow on Memorial Day weekend. And then the week after, it got back into the 90s. So, the crazy world of weather and climate change and all that's going on. It's So this weekend's kind of reminded me of that. Now, Mercury went retrograde yesterday. So Mercury is officially in retrograde, and I talked a little bit about that on the live feed also, but basically Mercury's in Gemini, so it's in its rulership. It's retrograde. It's making 3 separate squares to Neptune, and squaring elements in astrology are basically energies that sort of clash, or there's a better word, but I can't think about that. I had an interesting morning. I got up at 6, I meditated, and I went back to sleep, and then I got out of bed at 10. So I've been scrambling all morning. But it's Memorial Day weekend, so I'm allowed. But I apologize for that. But and I can't think of the right words. But then, anyways, clash will do. So Mercury is really about intellect. Neptune is more about faith. So there's likely to be a period of a lot of clashing of our ideals and what we hold true as values in our hearts and stuff like that. Versus what's like intellectually known and what our minds are thinking. So it could create a little conflict between heart and mind. And the idea of awakening or growing spiritually is more about creating more harmony between the heart and the mind, or what some teachers like Joe Dispenza calls heart-mind coherence. And anyways, this is hello. Can I predict your career for June? I'll try. Hi, Victor. Thanks for joining us. We'll definitely try. Hi, Sharon. All right. So I need some water. So let me see. What do I want to talk about tarot or tarot language? It's funny. I'm asking Spirit, and I'm seeing an image out of my Salvador Dali deck. Yeah, Salvador Dali was commissioned to do the print for a tarot set, and it's called the Dali deck. And I just got an image of the magician, but in the Dali deck, it's basically an image of Salvador Dali with that mustache, and he's the magician. So the magician card is Mercury ruled. I believe it's Mercury or air. I think it's Mercury though, and Mercury's going retrograde. And what the magician card tells us is that we have the power and the ability to create, that we're all creators of our own realities. And when you start to understand the forces or the energies that we can tap into, and we do this all the time, it's just subconscious, but everything that we feel has an energy, it has a vibration and a resonance. And now that scientists have been able to split open the atom and understand what's really going on in subatomic reality, which is basically quantum physics, um, it's known now that our thoughts and emotions carry an energy. It's wave. And wave can affect particle, and particle can affect wave. So particles are physical mass or physical reality. Wave is energy. So what we think is energy, and that does affect physical matter, and that's now proven. And what that means is that what you are thinking and feeling habitually, day after day, month after month, year after year, over time, creates the physical reality around you and changes the physical reality. So it's interesting because usually I have a couple of hours to think what I'm going to do in tarot time today. What do I want to talk about with the tarot? I didn't have that luxury this morning, so they just popped the magician card. And I think that that's an excellent message, because when Mercury goes retrograde, we go inward. Retrograde has that RE prefix, and um, so anything with an RE prefix works very well. So retreat is good. Remove what we don't need anymore, remove blocks or obstacles. But I think the main thing for the next few weeks is really to go within and to really open the heart center, and to allow our intellectual selves and our heart, because the mind thinks, but the heart knows, and allow us to kind of connect during this time where these squares are creating like I don't know if conflict is the right word, but it's a little bit of an edgy aspect that's going on. So, anyways, so I think that you kind of get the gist of that, and I'm just looking at your comments. So yeah, yeah, it's with the eclipse and the fact that Mercury's in Gemini, which is the primary rulership of Gemini. Mercury's the primary ruler of Gemini, Virgo secondary, and because of the fact that it goes forward, then backs up, then goes forward again. Mercury, months, I think, in Gemini, and it averages about 3 weeks per sign. So, Gemini is very changed. It's dualistic, but it's really of the mind, the nervous system. It's of the intellect. And when you add up all the aspects, a lot of stuff is going to start to rise to the surface. So repression is another RE word, and the aspects are just not going to allow a lot of the repressed knowledge, whether it's our own personal knowledge, like our personal soul record, or our personal connection to the divine, or whether you take that on a social level. And there's a lot of news that's repressed. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world that's repressed. A good example is what's been going on with a certain virus and a vaccine protocol, and how certain news is being repressed about some of the effects. And since I'm going there, that kind of opens up a can of worms a little bit when I talk about this stuff. I just want to put out there that, like any other medication, whether you're talking about vaccines or whatever, always carries some risk of side effects, always. And this is no exception. But what is exceptional is that a lot of the information is repressed now. And, a good example is that one of my former yoga teachers' neighbor's husband basically dropped dead like the day after getting his vaccine. And do we know that the vaccine causes passing? Absolutely not. It's circumstantial. The person got the vaccine and apparently had a stroke. But what's interesting is that the family wanted to do an autopsy, and because of I don't I don't know all the details, but the long and the short of it is that they would have had to pay out of pocket to get the autopsy to validate if the vaccine was indeed the cause of passing or not. And I've seen a couple of other similar stories. And again, I'm not saying don't take a vaccine, do take a vaccine. I'm not going there. I believe it should be a personal choice, but it should be an informed choice also, informed to the maybe to the degree of how your decisions impact society around you and other people, as well as how it affects your own health and well-being. But anyways, I just wanted to put that out as an example of how things are being repressed. And there's also been, from what I've been hearing through friends and friends of friends, or whatever, that that basically it's very difficult to report like side effects from vaccines. And it's not just this vaccine, by the way. But anyways, I think I've said enough about that. Let's get into the tarot stuff. And getting back to the point, certain things, it may not have to do with what I'm talking about, but certain things that are being hidden or repressed on the news, what's going on in the world, what's going on with the illness, with the cure, all that stuff. It's going to have a much harder time, like staying repressed. Like the lid is about to come off the pot. And the interesting thing is that some evidence is surfacing that suggests that maybe this problem did come from a lab. The funny thing is, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, or is that how you pronounce his name? That if you say the virus is man-made, you won't wind up in Facebook jail. They won't take your post down if you say that, actually. So I just had to say that. Anyways, did I miss 11:11 again? Darn it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Spirit to guide me to what the best meditation card is for this group. Those that are here live and those that'll catch this as a video later on, for our own growth. And of course, we're in an awakening cycle. We're in a purge right now. So there's a lot of release of like old stories, old traumas, old dramas. And spirituality is decrease. It's not increase. You're already spirit. You're already spiritual. So the thing is, it's all the programming, and it's the layers of misinformation or false beliefs about ourselves or about our world or about who we are, which is simply spirit having a human experience. So the purge is removing these blockages or these obstacles and these dichotomies or these false beliefs. And what we believe, whether they're programmed beliefs or not, whatever we believe and hold in our subconscious, we create it in our reality. And that includes our health. And on that level, I think some of the stuff that's very Mercury energy too, that's going to start to surface more and more, is how basically there's a lot of false information about what makes us sick, why we get sick, or how we get healthy. And the long and the short of it is that it's really what's up here that determines our health, or otherwise. Bacteria and viruses are opportunistic in nature, and 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 serve a vital purpose in the Earth's ecosystem. Uh, but 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 that's not just to do with pathogens. Also, things like autoimmune or cancers or stuff like that. And what we've seen and seen more of is that how changes of the mind affect changes in the body, and we've seen people get out of wheelchairs, and I've actually done distance healings. I've actually I do a lot of also as part of my mediumship work. And we've seen people with stage 4 cancer go into remission like within days after healing, and stuff like that. And it's not just me. Dr. Joe Dispenza has like a lot of empirical data on this, as well as other people that follow that um, that. So anyways, I warned you, I just woke up for the second time. It's like meditating at 6 in the morning and falling back asleep. It's been a weird morning. I think it's like the Mercury, just going retrograde, and it's kind of affecting our patterns and routines also. So anyways, so meditation card for the week is, drum roll please, so somebody asked, are you doing any face-to-face groups yet? Not yet with groups. Individually, yes, but not with groups. So here's what we got. Interesting that we got the Justice card as our meditation card. A sign Libra, law, balance, all this stuff. And the way to meditate with tarot, the way that I do it anyways, I mean, there's a lot of ways to meditate, but the way that I do it is I'll kind of either get a mental snapshot, like this is, you can use my card, it's from the Hanson Roberts deck, or if you have tarot card, you just kind of go into the Justice card in your mind and you step in, and we're only seeing a very small image here, but you imagine you step into a whole like panoramic view, like what's going on behind the card to the side you can't really see. And then you become part of that energy, vibrate with that energy, and see what messages that you get. Amongst other associations, the Egyptian goddess Ma'at is associated with the Justice card. It's actually key 8, and then it changed to key 11 for whatever reason. So 11 and 8 are both numbers, numerological association with the Justice card. And swords represent truth, scales represent balance. So, balancing our lives with truth would be, part of the meaning of that. And that sticks in with the theme of what's going on in the world and what truths are likely to start to get uncovered. And we may find some pretty shocking news about the origins of a virus that's affecting everybody. And as I'm talking, I feel like Spirit's sort of inputting that there's going to be some conjecture as to actually how old this virus is, that it may be actually older than what people believe. And there may have been some foreknowledge of it and some preparation. But we also have to understand that the powers that be thrive on control and power. I guess that makes sense. The powers that be thrive on power. I'm talking about what some people call the elite or deep state, or the ruling parties of the world that have been active for hundreds of years. Actually, this is definitely not a new thing. But the thing is that awakening interrupts their agendas, because once we awaken, we come into our power. It's harder for others to have power over us. So this is also part of the awakening. It's part of the struggle for freedom. And we're in Memorial Day weekend, which is a holiday where we celebrate those they made the ultimate sacrifice so that we could have our freedoms, basically. So it's all very connected with the time of the year, with the Mercury retrograde, and the fact that this is our meditation card for this very enlightened and awakened group that we have here. So I wanted to do a 3-card spread now, and so I'm asking Spirit to guide me along here on my mission. Okay, this feels right. So as always, I just sort of clear my mind. I ask Spirit to guide my hand to pull the best 3 cards to sort of represent the trends that are going on for us, as well as what's happening in the world and how that affects us, or what news may come out, or whatever. We've had the lunar eclipse. So when we hit the full moon, we have a solar eclipse. Clips that are about shadows and shadows being exposed. So it'll be interesting to see what we pull here. This is interesting, and it kind of gives me sort of almost like a non-eventful feeling in a way. Although, again, I think that to me, this is 4 is about the earth and stability, and I think this is sort of telling a story, because I feel like this card is just kind of saying that we're going to hear a little bit more news. I think there's certain things that again, going to the powers that be and how they want to control and manipulate things. I feel like there's going to be disclosure of certain things, and that it's sort of like a matter of timing when it's going to happen, because sometimes if too much information gets revealed, the public goes into a big panic, and that's not a good thing either. So I kind of get the feeling like more pressure, I want to say. So there's a lot of pressure that's going on with how to handle things moving forward, to try to get back to some semblance of normalcy in our society. And I almost feel like, because, and I think a lot of this goes back to the vaccination programs, because they're finding that that the doses are slowing down a lot. That people are whether it's the right words, resistant, for lack of a better word, or hesitant might be a better word. And I do believe that they're finding that that they're not achieving their percentages that they're hoping. I think they were hoping that 70% of people at least have 1 dose by the 4th of July. I think that is, and I think they're seeing that their goals are falling short. So you could look at this maybe, if you're a little bit jaded, as a form of subtle bribery, but I think there's going to be some incentives. I'll put it that way. And again, things get censored, and what comes out in the news is partly, and it doesn't have to be a negative thing, but partly to, we'll say, guide the masses into doing the right thing. And this is kind of good in a way, because I almost feel like this is sort of a card that sort of represents that there's challenges, but the figure is like on top of things. It's like sort of holding off the challenges, and the 4 of Pentacles holds on, but to me, being reversed in this alignment, it's really kind of letting go of things that people are holding on to. And And I think that that's a good thing. So it does look like, even though I don't think this is going to be a week where there's going to be like really intense backlash. I think that that's happening, and that there has been an uptick in violence. And I do feel like we're heading into a period where the duality, or the dissonance, if that's a better word, in our society is going to start to clash more and more. And there's been a lot of things that are happening that are systematically deepening the divide in our culture and our society, and increasing the duality. And Gemini is the sign of duality. And the answer to that is, it's with the meditation card, with the justice card, because that's about balance. And duality has to exist for the physical world to exist. And it's the interplay of opposites that allows the physical world to exist. But finding the balance, that's how you come back to the oneness, that when you once you return back to a state of oneness and wholeness, then the whole idea of duality becomes, a whole or one. I don't know if I'm in explaining that right this morning. If I'm not, I apologize. But I think this is encouraging us to, maybe let go of some of our preconceived notions or some of our judgments, and to really go into our own heart, and trust our own intuition, and things like that as well. Um, so what's the Lord saying? He's also only looking at one cup rather than all four cups. He's not seeing the full picture. This is a good observation, and it's very true as well. And I think part of the message of that is that the other three cups really exist within, and not to keep looking outside of ourselves for validation or proof or whatever, but to be able to look within. So I need to flip this to see if Spirit gives me any more messages. I just feel like I'm hearing it's interesting, as I'm looking at this, I'm hearing a line from a Peter Gabriel song called San Jacinto, which is basically about when I think he met with some Native Americans and had a like an awakening or an epiphany about things, and he wrote this song called San Jacinto, which is basically, the tenor of it is to hold on, to the old ways. Well, not to hold on, but not to lose. Anyways, not to lose the like the sacred knowledge, and to write it out, and that we're going to return back to wisdom and back to knowledge. But but anyways, I need more water. But the line that I was thinking of is I hold the line of strength that pulls me through the fears. San Jacinto, I hold the line, the poison life, the darkness steals my sight. I hold the line. And so that was the line that popped up in my mind. So I feel like it's just sort of a message: really hold the faith, keep meditating, keep connecting to source energy. And what's going on is a necessary process in human evolution and awakening. And and I think that's really the message. And again, I just feel like people are gonna, things are gonna be coming out, this week. They've been coming out already, that are gonna cause people to really kind of think about things a little bit more. And like I said, I think there's certain, this may have nothing to do with COVID. It may have to do with other things, but I think there is a plan to release certain information because it's necessary to maintain the control. But at the same time, it's kind of validating things that may be known. For whatever reason, extraterrestrials comes into mind when I'm talking about that. And I know there's been some disclosure that there's been some admission that ETs are real or stuff like that. But anyways, what I wanted to do to finish up today is pull some angel card for us as well. This is Doreen Virtue's Messengers from the Angels. And let me just ask Spirit to guide me to the right card. This is the one. I love this card. When I first bought this deck, asked for a message. Is the first card I ever pulled from this deck. And what it says is that you are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission. So when I got this, I asked for a message, I pulled this card, and it's just like, yeah, that's what I do. That's basically my work. And it's Akasha is the name of this, and these are Doreen Virtues, her from her research and her channeling that she got that. But it really goes along the thinking, along the lines that this is a time of spiritual awakening, and people that are attracted to this channel and this work are generally on a path of awakening or awakening or have awakened. I mean, when I say awakening, there's different levels of awakening, and it's kind of become one of those new age buzzwords in a way. So awakening means different things to different people, but basically what it means to me is getting past the illusion of the physical world and understanding the timeless now, and awakening to energy, or awakening to the quantum field or spirit, or whatever you want to call it. And when I had my first awakening, and I was only 19, and I was in college studying meteorology and weather and all that kind of stuff. And then I had this, and it was like two flashes of light. It was like one after the other. And I think in hindsight, that was like my first taste of like the quantum field, which is basically, the invisible field of energy that runs through everything, where all possibilities already exist. So whatever we hold as energy, we create that in our life through the quantum field, and we're not always aware of that, but that happened. And my first reaction was like, everything that I've learned is a lie. I need to learn the truth now. And that kind of changed my whole trajectory in life, really. And it was quite unexpected, but I was riding a bicycle when it happened, and it just all of a sudden happened, and it changed my life. So there's different types, there's different levels of awakening. It's defined differently, but we're talking about spiritual awakening. And we start to awaken to spirit, everything changes. And then there's different levels of awakening and different initiation processes that go along with that. So after my awakening, I started to learn that physical matter was malleable through the powers of the mind and intention. And I started to, tap into things like telekinesis and, thinking things and then having it happen, and just things. To make a long story short, things were happening that could not be explained by physical law. I mean, and to this day, I think back on some of the things that happened. But the problem was I was very ungrounded at the time. And as my consciousness went higher and higher, I became more and more disconnected to the world. And then one day, my master guide, that I called John, came through and said, "You've gone as far as you can. Now you've got to go back into the earth." And within a year, I was at this high place, to this place where I was just struggling for my survival. And and then there was issues of homelessness and issues with the law, all kinds of stuff. And I feel like over these last 40 years, it's like I've been needing to learn more about the earth, about the physical, in order to take my spirituality to the next level. So I feel like that's where I am. So I have another awakening in my personal evolution that's still happening, or still a process that's happening. So anyways, That is what you can. Can you please repeat the message on the card? Yes, I can. You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission. And again, that was the very first card I ever pulled from this deck. And as I did that, I knew that was very accurate. So I found this to be a very, very accurate tool for me. All right. So, anyways, with a little luck, for those of us in the Northeast, we may be able to pull out a decent day tomorrow, weather-wise. But in the meantime, there's something very magical and mystical about this cool rain. Although 42 degrees in the end of May is, I think, qualifies for a little more than just cool. But whatever the case may be. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Let me see what's on the calendar for the Medium channel. June 21st is our first year anniversary. So I'm gonna do live mediumship again, and we may get Heather on. We may do a healing, but that's a celebration. About a week ago, my channel reached the qualifications to get monetized. So I believe we fixed the issue of ads coming up in the middle of my videos. So if anybody's seeing ads in the middle of a video, let me know, please, because I don't want them there. The beginning and the end is fine, but not in the middle. The only exception to that is that on live events that don't involve a meditation, after about a week or so, I allow for mid-roll ads. They're called, the ads that come up in the middle of your YouTube videos. So I allow for that once I've had a live event that's over a week old, because I work hard. I'm fine with making a little bit of extra money through this work, through AdSense on YouTube, but I really do not want that to come at the cost of compromising my viewers' experience with my videos. So just want to put that out there. If you're seeing any ads in the middle of any of my videos, please let me know and I'll fix it. And thank you for joining me and us. And this Wednesday, it'll be on Facebook. I'm going to do another transmission, but it won't be on YouTube. It'll be on my Facebook page. And in 2 weeks, I don't have the exact date, on Zoom, Heather Starr, the healer, and myself are going to do a new moon event that's going to be a solar eclipse also. And I think that's it. So have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'm going to sign off. So lots of love to everybody. Oh yes, I wanted to do shout out again Armand Diaz, and he does an astrological forecast every week on his channel, Integral Astrology. So I recommend people check him out, and then okay, I think that's good. I need breakfast. I'm shaky, so I'm gonna end. I need breakfast, and thank you for joining me again.